Welcome back to Bodanza Disc Golf. Today, we have Ken Climo's new prototype driver-ish 10-speed. I think this has the opportunity to be his best disc yet. He has an 11-speed already, a 5-speed, and a 2 or 3-speed, which I've already fully reviewed. And if you don't know who Ken Climo is, because you're new to disc golf, he's arguably the GOAT. He has 12 world championships and was not really in the game when I got started in 2022, but is recently starting to come back, do more commentary. He recently played an event. He's still got it. He's still phenomenal. And he has a line of discs, which is being manufactured in partnership with Discraft, and this is the 4th one in that line. Today, I want to play with just this disc, 18 holes here at Owlsden Disc Golf Course. We're going to play the 9 that's front, that's in, and then there's construction going on, but I think we could still play some of the back 9 holes. And I want to play with just this disc, and I was going to say I have to shoot as under par as he has world championships, but that seems absolutely insane with the disc I have to learn. So we'll cut that in half and I'll have to shoot 6 under par. Otherwise, this is going to my 50K subscriber giveaway. Big shout out to Dana for sending this out. He runs the Climo brand, and this is the Osprey in their new Victory line. Manufactured by Discraft, of course, and the plastic feels like kind of like a shimmer Z. Not exactly similar to something I've thrown. It's like pearly plastic. It actually looks and feels really cool. And the profile is a little thick on the rim, but flippy. It's 10.6, -3.1 are the flight numbers. The plastic actually feels really good, even compared to the last line, the major line. And because this is a Discraft manufactured disc, I'm imagining this is somewhat based off of the Avenger or Avenger SS mold. Avenger SS, I think, is like a -4, -5.1. So maybe this is just based off of the normal Avenger, which I don't really know a lot of. But it seems like Discraft has been reviving some older, not very popular discs, like the Surge for Paige Pierce's Drive, just retooled slightly, and the Surge SS for the Thought Space Athletics Expanse, and the XL for the Thought Space Athletics Persona, which also is coming out here pretty soon. But this might be a retooled Avenger. I'm not 100% sure. That's just a complete guess, and I don't have an old Avenger to look at. But we're going to play 18 holes with this and my putting putters, try to shoot pretty under par, and I think that's definitely possible. Feels decent on the forehand because it's pretty flat. Feels actually really good on the backhand. It's a very tacky plastic. I'm excited. Let's get started. 276, hole 1. Wind is coming out a little bit today. So we have a tailwind here to get started. We'll throw a hyzer forehand and see how it holds up. Little flip up. And roll there. Get the champ love. 30-footer to get started. That touch of flip up, even in that tailwind, -3.1 might be pretty accurate. It's a little flat on the profile, which sometimes helps this to be a little flippier. If it was domier, it'd probably hold up a little more stability, which is similar to like my Sphinxes. There's kind of 2 profiles of them. If you look on Infinite Sight, the more domey ones have a little more overstability, just because dome helps things to turn and fade a little more mellow. So maybe there will be a couple different profiles of the Osprey. You'll be able to check that on Infinite Discs when they drop there, which I'll have linked down below. But for now, I like how this thing feels, and so far I've liked how it flies. Oh. Par to get started. We're gonna go ahead and skip hole 2 for now. That'll be the start of the back 8, I guess, and we're gonna jump right into the back 9 holes. I think it's a slightly better flow to start on 1, then play these 9, and then the rest of the 8. So hopefully we can get some birdies in here and learn this disc a little, carving up some woods, because there will be a little more open birdies on the last 8 holes. That being said, I think what's interesting about the Osprey and the Climo line in general is it seems to be a line that, I don't know if I heard this stated by the Climo team anywhere, but I feel like I did. They're wanting to make more amateur and masters friendly for people who don't like throw the crazy distance shots, and so they're making molds that will flip a little more and have a little more ride and are easier to throw. I think that's pretty smart, and I like that. That's kind of what Ken is wanting to do with his line in disc golf right now. I think it also gives the opportunity for Discraft to, one, either create new molds because they're being manufactured in conjunction with them. Climo isn't like on the Discraft team, but he partnered with them. It's more like a business partnership than it is a sponsorship. And I don't know if this is like a retooled Avenger, but it's also could way, like, if that is what's happening, for them to be bringing back some molds that might be good, but aren't in the current market fit for their brand, and they bring it back with Climo. And this plastic is honestly pretty sweet, but there is one interesting thing about this mold that I've never seen on anything else. I just noticed it. Right here, it seems like there's like a lip and then the rim. So it seems like there's 2 parts. I don't think it's actually 2 parts, but that's what it feels like a little bit, which is interesting. This hole, I think I've only played 1 time because I don't really come to this course that often anymore. with all the construction you can see going on. Looks like this basket's about 220. Whoa, that's got some good glide. Oh, I didn't even realize there was a tree over there. Well, shaping up pretty good. I think if you don't have the crazy, most powerful forehand, a disc like this I think is super good. Because the 10 speed, it means it's pretty fast, so it's gonna be a little forgiving. It has a lot of glide, and I just kind of popped it out there, and it just like did the shape that I wanted to. It drifted a bit and faded. I am in Denver, so I'm at 5,000 feet of elevation, so things will be a little bit more overstable here, or have a little less glide than somewhere like sea level. But I think the way that this forehands is pretty good. We got a putt. Tricky guy. I like this hole. Oh wow, how did I miss it right side? All right, one down. I'm really happy with the course designer. I believe it was Lucas who remade these two holes because they should be a par 4, and then this one is a par 3 that's kind of over by where all the equipment is. And they actually made some pretty sweet holes here because this is just like a straight gap to go through. Right about 270, got a little left to right. Another good distance for this bad boy. I think flat to slight hyzer out of the gap. I don't want to let it turn too much because if I go over the fence, I don't know if I'm getting it back. Wow, okay. That does have a pretty decent fade at the end of it. Threw it pretty soft, it flipped a little bit. It was very low, didn't really ride too much, and then kind of faded and skipped. I think throwing slower, you're gonna get full S-flights out of it. I'm intrigued to see what happens when you throw it a little bit harder, which I'm gonna be able to do on some of these next couple holes. I think this next one's a 750-foot par 4. Because I'm not going over the top with this guy. I'll have to kind of shape a line, which will be pretty fun to see. I'm putting left today. Jeez. I'm just putting bad. All right, hole 12, 720-foot par 4. We have a head left to right, not the easiest win. So you have to throw a hyzer at those gaps and let it fade through. Honestly, there's so many small gaps. I'm gonna like have a general aim point and try to hit it, but I'm not like super sold on any one of them since they're about 280 feet down the fairway. So this amount of hyzer, let it pick up and drift. Don't want to let it go over the fence because we're playing that as OB, so keep it a little low and a little driven. And we'll see how this guy flies when you give it a touch of juice. Oh, very flippy. I mean, the wind isn't helpful. I got it just low enough that I'm not going OB, which is good. And I think that's a pretty open look to the basket. Maybe. I heard someone call it a longer Roadrunner. I heard someone call it an of a Gorgon. And I think those are pretty plastic dependent because I got a Roadrunner this year that was crazy stable and a Gorgon this year that was crazy stable from the 2025 Tour Series run for those guys. This definitely seems to be like a true -3-1 disc though. Huh. This is not easy. Our basket is by those leaning trees. Is it even in? Yeah, it is. This is gonna be something good if I get it. I think a par here I'm very happy with. A par here I'm very happy with. I like a challenge like this because currently I don't really bag anything that's like this disc. I think if I had it in the bag, it'd be kind of for a roller slot right now. I need to keep it on hyzer. I can't let it flip because the OB is right there. All right. Sit. Well, I got a 70-footer for par. There's a lot of wind that kind of dragged over that hard shot I threw, but when I'm throwing it slightly down tempo, it's not, what's the word? It's not inconsistent. And sometimes you get a really flippy disc and it feels like the releases and the shots are very inconsistent. This feels like a very consistent disc. It just is understable. And I think a consistent but understable disc is a pretty sweet find. Also, I'm talking about consistency of like getting a release and it doing the flight that I want, not necessarily disc to disc because I only have one, so I can't really tell that. No. Oh, putting feels so bad right now. There we go. All right, we're figuring it out. 215, headwind with a little left to right, up the hill, touch of hyzer right at it. I'm not gonna try to give it an ace run, but if the headwind lifts it into the change, we can say I did. That is hard to control in a headwind. All right, we got an upshot. I don't think I've reviewed something this fast and this understable in a long time. All this fast understable stuff that's come out this year, like all the Tour Series discs, mine, all the Innova ones that are supposed to be pretty understable, 9 or 10 speeds, they've all come out pretty stable. And this one is like truly understable. And I haven't reviewed those in a while. That's pretty cool. Still a long putt at it. Lift it up there. Oh, that was pretty good. Ah! Wind is definitely a factor on this one. This is the hole I was excited for this disc, 387. Okay, mostly right to left with a little bit of tail. So I think if it gets turned into it, it's gonna kind of burn a bit. But if I throw a nice pushing hyzer up high, it'll flip into the wind and then spike in. Pretty technical shot with something this flippy, but I think we can execute it. Yes, dude. Now just sit down. Wow, it wasn't wide enough. Thought I'd flip more. That was so close to being so good, and I still have a putt. So we'll take it. What? I don't think I could putt that lower. Oh my gosh. I guess I can. Left to right. Yikes, dude. Bogey town. That was like almost the best putt there. 12 holes to go, and I need to shoot 7 under par to get to my 6 down number. These last ones are not super simple. There is a par 4 which should be gettable, but if I can somehow get out of these next 4, 1 under par, I'll feel somehow pretty good. This disc is definitely not a style that I'm used to throwing. It's much more understable while still being fast. So I'm getting some good learning in for sure today. I don't think it's a bad disc at all. I just think I'm not very comfortable with it. I have to remember that this is the victory line, and I can't let that down. Gotta be saucy, right up the middle. Oh my gosh. Wow, what? Wow, big skip, big 35-foot headwind putt. Not gonna lie, I thought after that speech I was cooked. I thought I was about to say that and then hit the first tree. Very pleasantly surprised. If you like playing disc golf in the wind like this, I'm gonna have to ask you to unsubscribe. For the record, I'm not talking about can you do it or like it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm saying if you like it. If you get here and like, yes, it's windy today. I don't trust you. I thought I was perfect in the headwind. That putt really felt good. We're gonna rely on that for the rest of this. Par is fine. 346. This is what this disc is made for. Maybe not with this much of a right to left, but definitely still doable. Very similar shot to what I just threw. Little punchy hyzer, maybe touch less hyzer so it rides straight, but if we can get a look on this hole, I'd be super happy. Normally when I'm reviewing new discs and I'm like learning, this is like a, oh, please don't bogey this hole. For some reason I feel optimistic. Get through. Somehow. Be crazy lucky. Optimism semi-warranted. Hit the gap. Very flippy. Sit. Let's go. Next hole is going to be interesting. We have almost a straight headwind, 460-foot par 4. That one's going to be all about just hitting that first gap and pitching up. Exposed basket though, way up there. All right, 448 they call it here. I think it's about 460-ish. We do have a little bit of a headwind with a little left to right. I'm honestly debating trying to throw it through this gap and roll it in the field. The wind is gonna be pushing it to the right, so it probably wouldn't be the best play. But trying to throw like a little cut roller, that sounds like the shot to get an eagle look. And that would be huge going into the front That also is the way to not birdie it. But I don't feel crazy confident like just filleting gaps with this disc in a headwind. So I think I'm gonna try that saucy little roller play. With this wind, I don't have to put it on too much angle, but I need to be left side of that middle tree, get through the gap. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh. Oh no, the wind got it. Man, it really tried. That was a really good attempt. I'm way up there. All right, pretty solid. Don't know if I'd say easy birdie though, with this wind. What are we looking at? Jeez. Okay. I think trying to just go high and spike it by the basket is a little risky with the wind, but I don't really see a much better play. Go in. Oh, let's go. Should have a birdie there, get back to even par. And 6 down through 8 on that front, definitely doable. The wind is gonna be a little extra out because it's a little more exposed overall, but I have an opportunity to birdie hole 18, which is a very tricky birdie. Do not get it very often, but it seems like it'll be a tailwind, so I think this disc is actually the right amount of flip for that hole because I typically don't have a flippy enough disc with the way I like to throw the hyzer flip on that one. If I can get to 1 under on this hole, it's feeling like victory might be in my grasp again. Get about 430, 428-ish. We have tail right to left. So I think just hyzer out here, let it do its own work. Should be enough wind to be fine. And I think my stock hyzer, this is actually the right amount of flip to throw this shot. And I don't really have a disc in my bag that does it very well like this. So hopefully I'm right. No, it's too flippy. Shoot. Oh, dang, I thought that was really good. Got turned and then just died. Shoot. 1 cameo shot with the Sphinx. I haven't taken it on this hole yet. Yes, dude. Skip. Oh, no skip, but that's perfect. Let's go. Oh! Par's fine though. 6 down on the front 8. I wish I was replaying 1 again, but I'm not. Hole 2 and hole 5 are gonna be the really tough birdies. Everything is gettable, but it's not gonna be easy for me, I'm not gonna lie. On to hole 2, 374. Right to left, ooh, headwind. Tricky shot, because if you turn it, it's gonna get beaten down a bit, and if you put it on hyzer, it's gonna get pushed. See, I think it's gonna be a touch of hyzer through the gap. Not a lot of hyzer, because it's not gonna have time to flip over as much, and not flat, because it's just gonna burn and roll. I wish I had the balls to throw the forehand up the right side. Oh, come on, come on, be so flippy. No! There's way too much wind. Holy cow. That's crazy. I thought that was, wow, there's so much wind out there. At least it's wide open. Yeah, this is not gonna be easy. This is a tough line. Way too much height, dude. There's a headwind, you goober. That's a good putt, dude. Oh. All right, I gotta get them all. 1 over again. Good news, bad news. We got to see a ton of shots with this guy. I have to shoot perfect for these last 7 holes, or get an ace or something. But if I can't do that, this is going to a good place, because we'll take a look at all the stuff in the 50K subscriber giveaway at the end of this video, if I don't shoot my 7 down here. This is not a disc I'd see myself really throwing again. I think it's a good disc. It just doesn't really fit my game. I think it could be a good roller for sure. But after throwing it for the first time in this wind and having this experience, sometimes you just don't want to pick it up again. Let's rip through these 7, get some birdies, get under par, be happy. I'm in a bad mood. I haven't eaten a lot today, and I came straight from the gym, so I'm sorry if I'm a little extra pissy. It's not you guys. It's not the disc. It's at the weather. Looks like the weather's frustrated back at me. Okay. Little world's smallest violin pity party for myself. Yay. Doesn't matter, I'm making this. All right, now I need an ace to get to my 6. But at this point, I'm just trying to get under par with this thingy. This definitely shows me a little bit of a weakness in my game, throwing really flippy stuff. I don't know how important that ultimately is. Probably not very, but I think it's not bad to be good at throwing understable stuff, even if you never really throw it, because it gives you a little extra touch. I feel like when I'm throwing this, I'm much more cognizant of which angle I'm releasing it on, and I've liked that feeling today. And it's been good for a lot of these holes. And so maybe throwing those flippy things can help me to figure out that feeling when I'm throwing my more overstable stuff. Because sometimes the focus is on just ripping and I lose a little bit of the proprioception, the feeling that I have at the end point at release. And I haven't lost that with this disc. It's been very important and intentional. I've liked a lot of the shots out of my hand. It's just a different disc that I'm used to. So I think that's a win of throwing this right to left, 259. This would be a great one to get a little ace, but not a very safe ace run. So we'll just try to get a birdie finally. Maybe it is an ace run, actually. Didn't mean for it to be. That thing has some glide on it, holy. Yeah, even there, I was thinking that's the angle I wanted to release it on, and I threw it exactly at that angle and exactly at the speed that I wanted to. I just didn't know the disc well enough, I guess, in the wind. But that feeling is something that I want with all my discs all the time. So even if I don't think I would throw a disc like this as air shots, much if at all, it's one, fun and good for videos, especially because doing more flippy disc challenges are something I want to do, especially once I get around wooded courses. But practicing with some flippier discs, just to get that feel, and then moving to the normal disc I would throw, I think is maybe a good way to practice. The disc had to hide from me because it's so ashamed of the play. Getting some good wind putting practice from distance too. I feel like I'm also getting a better feel of that. Oh, it's not on, but the feel's getting better, and this is going to be a useful round for me in Kansas because it's going to be a lot of wind. Whee! Don't clip that. Yahoo! I heard the beautiful strings of my world's tiniest violin, and I realized that I'm so competitive and I hate losing, so it sucks to not win a challenge, but overall, I've still had a good time with this, and talking through those positives on these couple holes after playing that world's tiniest violin, really helpful for me to get into positive headspace again, even without the food. 325, mostly a headwind. I think flipping it up this right side and seeing if we can keep it on hyzer is doubtful, but I'm gonna try to release it like this. Ha! Come on, fade! Oh, it's kind of down there. I really said so much hyzer. Yeah, this thing definitely fits into the Climo line. I'm a little surprised because it's similar to the Skyway, his 11 speed, which is supposed to be, or in my opinion, it's supposed to be Wraith-like, but like kind of beat-in Wraith-like. It was 11.4 -1.3, but definitely 5 or 6 glide. It goes pretty far, and it was pretty flippy for an 11 speed out of the box. If you think of Grace, Drive, Wraith, Bel Air, Czar, Bel Air is the flippiest out of all of those, from what I have seen, just straight out of the box. Good feeling disc. Not as flippy as this, but these kind of seem to have some sort of overlap. I'm a little surprised they didn't do a 7-speed to have like a fairway driver, because now they have a 10-speed and an 11-speed, and both are pretty understable. The only thing I could think is I threw the Bel Air pretty hard a lot of the times, and I'm throwing this one pretty soft, and it's still being very flippy. So they might be pretty complementary as drivers. Yikes. But I'm always a little surprised by like which companies decide to do what discs in what order. So like Birdie Disc Golf Supply, I think they have 4 or 5 discs, and 2 of them are overstable mitts. And I think there's just some maybe business pressure to do some of those things, but I think here there's not quite that, so I'm not quite sure. So maybe someone will let us know, but I don't think it's that important. It's still a good disc. Mostly headwind. Ah, lame. If you guys did watch my original Sphinx video where I did a mulligan challenge and 9 of them were given away, the winners of that were announced today over on Instagram, so go check that out. I think they're relatively consistently restocking colors just because they run out of the cool ones a lot of times. You guys have really appreciate the support. It really does make possible what I do, buying my discs and merch and stuff as it comes out. And more than that, just watching the videos. But I can't be 1,000% sure because I don't see the numbers right now. but just based off how many I think I've sold and how many I saw at retail stores, I think once I get this check on the 15th, my commission check for the month, I will be able to book my travel to Europe for Worlds. Well, I'll do it after I can sign up in mid-May, but I should be able to go to Worlds thanks to you guys and buying the discs. And I'll play Turku on the back end in Finland as well. So we got a little headwind right to left. Get stable. Wow. That thing is glidey. That's a putt though. That should be in the circle and we'll have right to left. It's not the best putt, but it's not the worst. I'm gonna have to start putting like that. I'm 2 for 2. 3 holes to play. These next 2 will both have a tail left to right, and the last one will be pretty much just a straight left to right. Time to focus up. 340. That's nice, dude. That's nice. 283. Good backstop. Thought I'd flip a little more. Too much wind under the flight plate, I think. Last hole, 288. Left to right tail. Go for the ace run. Too much turn. That's not bad though. Oh, let's go. Good tree. Honestly, getting to 2 down here, not that bad. Ended with 3 birdies, which is nice. Not a coincidence that when you get to holes that the wind doesn't hurt a flippy disc, stuck in birdies, but I had a lot of fun. Let me show you the 50K subscriber giveaway, which includes this. I think I would maybe see this as a good roller disc for me. Maybe a little more dome on it, but overall pretty solid, and the plastic feels so good. So big win from Climo in this disc. This might be their best disc yet. The Skyway, in my opinion, is a little better for me, but that's also a pretty flat one. They're coming out a little flat. Maybe that's what he wants, but if this had a little more dome, I think this would be their best disc in their lineup. But as of right now, I'm still gonna say the Skyway. Solid mold. Let me show you everything that's in this giveaway. It's getting a little insane. It's been a while since we've been over this. And I did give you guys a community poll, and you guys voted that once we hit 50K subscribers, we're gonna do as many 5-disc winners as possible. I'll put 5-disc mystery boxes together, and winners will get all those boxes. 33 discs, so more than a bag by far. And we have the Osprey, the Salamander from Mint Discs, Magnet, Luna, Buzz SS, Raptor, and Nuko S from that Discraft video. Oh, and the Sting, I forgot, 6 discs. The H13 Driver, Eraser, one of my Wild Honeys because Joel liked the other Wild Honey, so I put that into that. A Meridian Disc Chasm, a Daedalus from Tristan Tanner video, Arrive, Eveline the Destroyer, Wave, Silva Saarinen one, or High Disc Golf, excuse me, H13 is what it looks like, but High Disc Golf Fairway, Halo Champ Roadrunner, most overstable Roadrunner in the entire world, more stable than my Sphinx is. The Gorgon, I'm gonna have to shoot this against the Sphinx because Dennis asked me to as well. Current, a Mantra, a Thread from Hooligan Discs, Emily Weatherman Sidewinder, Mid-Range from High Disc Golf, Ravine, Hooligan Disc Flip, Wild Thing from Jester Discs, Putter from High Disc Golf, Eclipse Watt, Silva Saarinen Proxy, Neutron Range, Cenis, and a P. It's a lot of discs. So far 6 and change giveaways. And this is just a bunch of my losership on the ground right now. But that's okay, because it's so fun. So many videos. I cannot wait for 50K and to give all these bad boys away. But for now, that's what we got. Hopefully not too many more added soon. But we'll see.